company called OVIO. We helped people, real estate agents, sell their homes online. I found that while I was taking phone calls and signing real estate agents up, I was turning away around 100 to 300 people every single day because they weren't real estate agents. So I created Pixloo. We help both real estate agents and homeowners sell their homes online. We do this by allowing them to come to our site, upload information, videos, and photos about their house, and then we export that to all the major real estate sites out there. So right now, we launched about 2 months ago. We've had almost 4,000 people sign up. It is a freemium model, so there's accounts ranging from free up to $24 a month. We find that we're converting about 0.5%, so 1 in every 200 people over to a paid account. So, you know, it is making money, it is doing well. We're getting around 50 to 100 new accounts created every single day, and it's going well. We're helping the world sell their homes online. It's really cool because right now we've actually had 4 people come and say because of us they sold their homes online, and that's only in the past 2 months. So we're really excited for the future, and that's Pixloo.
Fantastic. Well, why don't we start with Eve? And Eve, would you please throw a question or two at our friend John?
Tell us about the competitive landscape here. So
the competitive landscape, our biggest competitor in the market is Visual Tour. They have 245,000 active paying subscribers. So they're pretty much the biggest competitor out there. There's a few other small ones out there, but they're the major player in the space. So, and they do not help homeowners out. They just help real estate agents. So our goal is to help real estate agents and homeowners by converting the homeowners into real estate leads and really helping the real estate.
Do you integrate with social media so that people can share it and so people say, oh, this tour created by Pixloo on their Facebook stream?
Yep. So we basically, when people sign up, they connect their Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest accounts. We say Pinterest because we just pin it and have them repin it right now, but we're planning on working with their API. But yes, we do integrate with all social media.
Cool. Great. Aksar, would you like to throw one at him?
Yeah. My question is, how much money do you guys make per transaction in this situation?
So per transaction varies. There's 2 different models. There's $9 a month and $24 a month. So one of those 2 prices. We're also working on a bulk model. We're working with Exit Realty right now, and they're thinking, and we're in the process of signing up 1,000, 1,200 of their agents. So they'd get a little bit of a discount, but yeah.
Is your target people or agents?
Both. What we really want is to help people out and convert them over to agents if we can't. Basically, we give them the best way possible to sell their home online, and if it doesn't work, we want them to still sell their home but sell it with an agent. So working with the top agents in the area.
Cool.
Cool. Okay, Mark, you're up.
So which areas do you cover right now with your services?
So right now we're all English speaking areas. So primarily the United States and then Canada, followed by Europe. So, but again, we've only had 4,000 plus people sign up in the past month and a half. So, you know, but primarily the United States right now.
Great. Annie, you want to?
And within the US, is it one region or is it all over?
No, we're all over the United States. So right now we integrate actually with local MLSs as well. We're in, you know, almost 400 local MLSs as well, and we auto export to those sites. So,
so when someone comes to your site and they sign up for the service, say for example you're a homeowner, walk me through what I see and what kind of exactly what resources. Because you talk a lot about resources. Can you get
yeah, so what we do is we have a system where you can sign up for free, upload information, photos, videos, you know, anything about your house, and then once that information is uploaded, it will automatically export to the top real estate sites out there. So now if you're a homeowner, you're going to be going to like Zillow, Trulia, and a bunch of other like Craigslist, Facebook, Twitter, and a bunch of other different sites. If you're a real estate agent, you're going to export to a couple different places that only realtors have access to. Same as homeowners, they only have access to other places. So kind of exporting 2 different places.
Great.
I just got a napkingram. That's how we communicate here at Startup Idol. And the napkingram says, ask him what's different about your pitch today as opposed to the last time you gave your pitch. Was it influenced in any way by the feedback you got from our judges last time?
Yes, it was. I integrated more of my experience behind it, working at another company a lot earlier in my pitch to kind of reinforce it a lot more. So.
Right, I believe the gods here are satisfied. I'm seeing some wise-looking nodding.
Good.
Let's move on to the next section, which is
time for scoring. Starting out with Eve. Go for it, Eve.
Wait,
I
feedback.
do think
feedback.
And
Yeah,
feedback.
scoring goes with feedback.
Okay,
It goes
okay.
with it.
Yeah, okay.
you'll get both.
Good for you. You want your feedback.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Feed me.
I feel like you did incorporate some of the feedback from last time. You got a good, confident presentation. I felt like I really understood it, who you're going after, how you're making money. My one comment would be if you've considered, or would you consider adding, you say that you're going to send people over to agents, maybe consider that as another revenue source if agents can do some advertising and gather. You said you have those positive testimonials. Man, grab those and sing them from the rafters. Put them on every page, splash pages. I sold my house because of Pixloo. Get those quotes and put them everywhere. So I'm going to give you today a 4.5.
4.5. In a good mood today.
I am in a good mood.
And on to Mark.
All right. Good energy, good pitch. You covered all the various areas that I'd like to hear about. On the business side, I like very much that it's a one place where you can upload information and then it goes to all these many different sites that just that is a tremendous value because otherwise it's a lot of work. It seems you have good traction, which means your user experience is probably very good, even though I haven't seen the website, but I would give it a 4.5.
4.5.
Right.
Excellent, excellent. And we're moving on to Axar.
Yeah, I really like it as well. It's something that people really need. I feel it's a pretty competitive market with various people trying to do a lot of things. And although I think what you're doing is new and innovative, I'm not really sure how you can protect yourself from other people going after what you're doing and basically building a platform that's kind of just like yours, able to post to many, many places at the same time. That being said, I think you're pretty far along and a lot further along than a lot of the companies that we talk to. So I give you a 4.6.
4.6.
Not to be outdone. Now, Annie, I don't know how well you were briefed, but a little feedback for him and a score somewhere between 0 and 5.0. And as you can tell, decimals are allowed, and we've had people go out to hundreds.
Okay. Well, my question earlier about what kind of resources you offer, like what a user sees when they get into the site, I asked this because I was wondering what the user experience would be like, because I'm not looking at the site right now. So like when I'm hearing the pitch, I want to see why people would come to your site. And because it's consumer oriented, I think that it would be beneficial for you to incorporate, I think that would be beneficial. And I think that something like that would be necessary to distinguish yourself from other competitors in the space, as Mark had mentioned earlier. I didn't get a lot of information about any briefings at all about how the scoring works, so it's difficult for me to. What is it out of 5?
Yeah,
Yep,
you can go anywhere from 0.0 to 5.0, and you're allowed to use fractions.
All right, I give you a 4.25.
4.25 it is.
Excellent number.
Thank you.
Well done. That was fun visiting with you, John. Good luck, and thanks for showing how this startup idol works.
Yeah.
You benefited from the last round, and you'll benefit again, hopefully, in the next one.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, thanks, and keep on doing it. I got this napkin gram that says, your ugly mother dresses you funny, George. And then I got another one that says, the next is Debbie at Check In On Me.
Check in on me. That is so important in this world. And
We do like Debbie. And you know what? I'm pretty sure Debbie was so fiery last time before we got our technology working.
But
and with the name Levitt, I'm almost certain. Debbie, are you related to me? I've got some Levitts in my family. We'll talk about this later.
Hi, Debbie.
I don't know why you can't see me. Should I try the reset?
Yeah, there's a trick. You know the trick with the gear at the top of the page?
Yeah, let me try. Hold on.
Okay.
Well, I saw myself. Okay, I should be there now.
Okay, let's see.
You're on your
Something seems to be happening.
And you can
Have
hear
you guys
me?
kicked off enough people? We can hear you, and you sound great today.
Thank you.
I hope we'll get to hear some of your singing. Greg, have we kicked enough people out of the video in order to let Debbie come in on the video? Ah, yes. Is there a green button at the bottom of your screen with where the video can be turned on?
Me? No.
Yes. Okay. Then let's walk through the cycling one more time and just be careful that we've told you correctly. Go to the gear at the top of the page. You select cameras, video and audio settings.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay, you go to the video settings and select avatar, and that should bring you an avatar. Now, do they have to exit out then and hit OK, and then do it over again? At this time, select the camera.
All right, so I have to set the avatar and then set my camera?
Yes, set the camera, set the settings to avatar.
Okay.
Don't make the mistake of going to avatar settings. We're not interested in that. We're interested in camera and audio settings. Set that to avatar and click OK and come out. And then once you are all refreshed, you do the same thing again, but go from avatar back to camera back to camera.
I only see a frozen camera now.
She only sees a frozen camera now. Maybe if one of our technical persons could get onto headphones, they'd be following what's going on. You'd heard it. Oh, wait, there you are.
I see unfrozen camera.
We've cleared up all of your problems, Debbie.
Hi.
Now, I don't have to ask if you're ready to give an awesome pitch, because I know you are. So as soon as you start talking, I'm going to hit this little green start button and give you 2 minutes.
Ready?
And I'll only interrupt you once when you have 15 seconds left.
Okay. And ready?
Okay.
Go.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Debbie Levitt, and I'm the founder of CheckInOn.me. In 2009, I was single and I was living alone, and I realized that if I didn't come home on time from a business meeting or an online date, who would know and when? So I had friends text me periodically, and when I responded with a predetermined code word, they knew it was really me and that I was okay. Check In On Me is an automated personal safety system designed for mobile phones. We'll check on you as often as you want, whenever you want. Sorry, I thought I heard something. If we don't get the right response in the right amount of time, we contact your selected friends and family. We'll tell them everything we know about where you are and what you're doing. Our phone app maps everybody and opens up a group text chat so people can determine who's close by and how to get help if it's needed. Other phone apps are just panic buttons. You have to launch them after the trouble begins, if you can. Our system is proactive. Even if you can't respond to our check-in, a lack of response can still trigger the emergency response. Check In On Me makes money from monthly subscriptions as well as API licensing. I filed the provisional patent last April, and we're filing our full patent this month, and we're about to start in a San Francisco incubator next week. So Check In On Me is perfect for anybody whose lifestyle, hobby, or job brings them in contact with strangers or strange places, like realtors showing houses, social workers going into troubled homes, college kids having a social life, travelers, new parents staying at home who are concerned about every knock on the door, the infirm or elderly. So think about any time you or someone you love felt unsafe and wondered, who would get them help or how or when if trouble suddenly sprung up. Check In on Me is a virtual buddy system that solves that problem.
15 seconds? Oh,
Does that mean I should
yeah.
start singing?
Yes, please.
That
We've
was
got a quick little
fabulous.
question. That was fabulous. Always fabulous.
Mhm.
What incubator in San Francisco are you starting in next weekend? Congratulations.
Thank you. I believe I'm not allowed to say until they put the press release out next week, but I would say think of the most famous one you can and then go one level under that. So it's one you probably heard. It's one you've probably heard of, but it's not the ones that everyone's always talking about.
You know, I'm thinking of the most famous one that I can think of, and I'm thinking one level above that.
Oh, well, you're very sweet. I think
All
you're
right. Well, who do you want to start with today, Cindy?
Let's start with Mark. Hit it, Mark.
Okay, could you give us some user adoption numbers or idea of how this service, I assume it's been implemented or at least it's in beta somewhere, and so what kind of virality do you see? What kind of adoption?
I don't consider it to have adoption yet. We put out a minimum viable product last year, which is live on our site, and we got a lot of great feedback from people. And most of the feedback was, we'd like this better as a smartphone app. So we're shipping the smartphone app next week. So I consider us to have no real adoption at this time. I would assume that we're likely to have great adoption and traction numbers and be looking more at funding in the summer.
Nice. Annie, would you like to go next?
Yeah. So say, for example, it's an elderly person that's using this. So if they don't check in by a certain time, then your app will notify the selected friends or family. Is that how this works? I just want to make sure I'm understanding it correctly.
Yeah, basically the user determines when they want to be checked in on, whether that's certain times in a day or certain intervals, like I'm on an online date, I want to be checked every 45 minutes, and something comes up on their phone, they have a certain amount of time in which to respond with either their I'm okay or I'm not okay code word. And so if we don't get the I'm okay response within a certain amount of time, then we push something out to the friends and family, and we push that through text, email, and if that person is using our app, we push out an app notification as well.
Cool.
What's the monetization strategy?
Oh, I'm sorry.
The monetization strategy is to have a free app download, 2 free months of usage to make them fall in love with it, and then to have a small monthly fee in the $3 or $4 range, a discounted annual fee, and then by the end of Q2 we'll have an API out. We've had requests for it to be in Japanese, we've had requests for it to be private labeled and things like that, so we also expect a main source of revenue to be API licensing. Thank you, Annie.
Is there competition? I feel like I've seen this before. Did someone try it and fail at it, or is someone else doing it? Is there not anything in this space? And also, how do you deal with false alarms? I know I often don't hear my phone when it rings, and if I'm having a great date, I might just forget. What happens when my mom starts calling 911 and I've just gotten into a compromising position and didn't want to answer my phone?
Okay, there was a lot there, and for your sake, I hope you have that experience without the false alarm. What was the? Now I got so lost on that second bit. What was the first question again?
Competition.
Thank you. There's very little real competition right now. On one end of the spectrum, you have Life Alert and OnStar. Life Alert works in your home if you're conscious to press the button. OnStar works in your car. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you really have panic button apps where they don't check on you proactively. They imagine that if a man is chasing you down the street with a knife, you're going to unlock your phone and run a smartphone app and press a panic button. So based on all the research I've done and continue to do, I don't see anything like this. I do see apps that are track my children, find my children, tell me if my children go into this part of town, but I haven't seen anything that's really meant for young, medium, and old adults just living our lives, having our hobbies, and doing our jobs. So I haven't seen any competition or anything like it. So if you have, let me know. As for your exciting date scenario, there are many things we're going to do to combat false alarms, but to not eat up too much time, I'll just give you one example, and that is when we check on you, you've got 2 minutes to respond to that. But say you've thrown your phone in your pocketbook, it's on the back of your chair, you don't hear it or feel it. After those 2 minutes go by, we jack up your phone volume to 100%, and for 1 minute we play a sound that sounds like a submarine has been torpedoed. At that point, you will probably notice that your phone is making some sort of sound, and our intent is to, if nothing else, embarrass you into checking in so we can avoid false alarms. And my other joke is, don't put your mother on the contact list for the emergency, put her on the list for what we call home safe. So I'll get contacted if you're in trouble, and she'll get contacted when you're home safe and you're done with checking on me for the night.
Very nice. Aksar?
Yeah. My question is, have you considered using this for healthcare market?
Yeah, a lot of people have come to us saying, why isn't this in the healthcare market? Or can we combine this with reminding seniors to take medications? And my answer is yes, when our API is ready, of course, we're going to go after all of the very logical and obvious lower hanging fruit as, oh, ow, ow. I'm beeping.
Sorry.
Was that
Maybe you need to
submarine-like
enter your
sound?
safe word.
No, the other one is torpedo sound.
Oh, I think I wrote that one for a torpedo game. Thanks. Were you able to finish your sentence adequately?
I think
That
people
was
are
great.
getting where I'm going with this, that once we've got the
Okay.
API ready, we see this being built into all kinds of applications.
Great.
Okay, good.
And I want to throw something in that the check-in system was the only way that I was really able to work out with my kids as they were getting old enough to go off on their own to little comic conventions and things. Give me a call. When should I start worrying if I haven't heard from you? Start worrying at 10 o'clock, Dad, if you haven't heard from me. So the principle is sound. I recommend it. I think that it's sounding like you're onto it. Let's get around to some feedback and scores.
And scores. Hit it, Annie.
I am really impressed by your presentation, by your ability to field these questions on your toes. Just, I mean, confidence sells, and I can tell that you're confident in this product. That makes me confident in your product. I'm somebody whose mother had a spouse that was out of town. And, you know, like they found her days later and she was in a coma for a while and then she died. And, you know, this is fantastic that you have this product because I think that there could be a real market and there could be some real benefit to the world for your product. So 5.
The plan.
A 5.
Dude.
Thank you.
5.0. And go ahead, Aksar.
Yeah. My small concern is that you believe that there is virtually no competition for your product. I believe that there is. It's either somebody who is in your space but hasn't packaged their stuff like you have, or somebody who's tried what you're trying to do but found reasons why it's not economically viable. There's virtually no good ideas that are not being tried by somebody else. In fact, if nobody else is trying it, there's a reason. There's usually a reason why. Otherwise, I think it's a very interesting service, and I think there's some probably holes in the way it performs, like Eve was mentioning, it being somebody not picking up their phone for a while, or just having their phone off, or whatever. I think it will take some trial and error figuring stuff out. I would probably not want to call 911 just because they can't reach me, but I do think that what you're doing has a very useful purpose.
Okay.
And I give it a 4.4.
4.4. Let's go on to Mark.
And I want to say, unfortunately, Debbie's not allowed to respond to these. However, if she would just hold that note a little closer to the camera, we might be able to read it. They're focused on child safety. Thank you very much, Debbie.
Go ahead, Mark.
So I like the idea very much. I think definitely there's value in the concept. From a pitch perspective, I think it was a little too long on the story of what it does, and I would have been looking for more information on what has been done, who's the team, who's the potential competition or things like this, even though, we've discussed that it seems that there is no competition at this point. But otherwise, yeah, I think it's great concept. I would give it a 4.
4. And finally, Eve.
Yeah, I have the same question as Axar. I am absolutely sure I've seen this precisely. So if it wasn't you, then it was someone else. And if they're not still around, there's probably a reason why. So I would see if you can find. I'll sniff around and see if I can find out who that was, and maybe get you connected with them if it wasn't you. Because I remember asking the same kinds of questions then. So, but if no one else has made it work and you've got a secret sauce that's going to make it work, good for you. I think there's a need for it. People are going to like it if it's at the right price point. I'm going to give you a 4.5.
4.5.
Nice.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful insights. Great presentation. Enjoyable.
Yeah, thanks. And for my a quick 2 cents that we almost got it turned off before the beeping. Sorry, Debbie. Yeah, and we do know that around here, the good ideas do tend to come up a lot, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad if they're not come up with. So
we are signing off with Debbie and heading to our next competitor. Bye-bye. Our next competitor is it MailWriter?
Is it MailWriter? Are we bringing in MailWriter?
All right. We will get to see.
I'm really happy with this
is it
lineup of
Rex?
judges. You guys are doing a great job. It's better than me. I'm a very good judge, although I don't discern because that's so Western.
Yes.
Now, I just want to point out that today we've had 2 5.0 scores.
Right.
The first in history, Jason gave to near to there, which is the, how can I describe that? It's the thing that tells you when you're near some place that you wanted to be. The intent-driven engine. And the second one was Annie, check in on me, the thing that keeps your mom from worrying about you. And that is going to make someone some money when they can perfect that.
Or even more important, you from worrying about
You from worrying about you. Renee, I see your name. I don't see your video yet. Can we hear you?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, good. Yes.
Okay.
Very good.
Hi, and your video is up and you look good. If you are ready to rock, we are ready to push the big green button as soon as you start speaking. 2 minutes presentation, and I'll interrupt you once when there are 15 seconds left.
All right. Hi, my name is Renee from MailWriter. MailWriter is a real mail solution where anybody can send a letter online to any destination in the world. Individuals and businesses write a letter by using a text editor or by uploading additional documents such as Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or Adobe PDF documents with no additional costs. MailWriter then converts your digital letter to paper, we print it, and send it with regular mail. This all happens within 24 hours. It has never been more easy to send your postal mail, airmail, national or international letters. There's really no need to buy stamps or envelopes at all. So no more trips to the post box, no more trips to the post office. You don't have to go to the mailbox anymore or the letterbox. It's especially interesting for individuals who have a lot of traveling to do before they come to the post office. It actually saves them a lot of time because they don't have to go back and forth, buy stamps and stuff like that. MailWriter saves your company money because we print your letters and we send them. So you don't need to maintain a physical mailroom at all. You save valuable time and money on buying stamps, envelopes, paper, printers, and ink. Your employees will make more efficient use of their working time because they can actually spend time doing what they're supposed to do. Our digital mailroom offers you better insight in your mailing usage and expenses, so you can keep track of that. And you don't need to maintain stockpiles anymore for your paper, cartridges, printers, or envelopes. And there's absolutely no additional software needed to use MailWriter.
15 seconds.
So start saving valuable time and money today and send your letters online using MailWriter.
Beautiful.
Well done.
All right. Well, let's see. Who should we start with? Annie. Can you fire a question off to Renee?
Hi. So, yeah, why would I want to use your, if it's completely printed, what am I going to do about signatures or checks?
We have support for additional documents. We allow you to use PDF documents, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and Excel documents.
No, I guess my question is this, like, so nowadays when things are mailed, and I'm an attorney, so I use the mail a lot, not because I want to, but I have to. I mean, there are checks, and then there are contracts with original signatures, and that's the main situation which I would be using. And that's, I think that's, that's the main situation in which people use mail these days. So, like, tell me how you would address that, because, I mean, sounds like you're just printing stuff out and sending it off.
Yeah, we allow you to use your pre-processed PDFs. For example, you might have a contract and you have a PDF of that contract. So there's definitely ability to use like a digital signature in there that you can put in there. And actually you can put it into all of your contracts at the same time. Just upload all your PDFs into one single document. And we'll print all of your letters up in the tens and tens of thousands at the same time, which will actually save you even more time and more money.
Very cool. Let's move on to Eve.
Tell me about your the revenue model, how it actually saves money if you're still, paying more than you would for a stamp, and how you intend to go about customer acquisition.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Actually, imagine an employee writing a letter to a customer. This may take up to half an hour or 3/4 of an hour. I don't know what these employees make an hour, but in that case, writing a letter doesn't cost just like a quarter of an hour. It costs the hourly wage of the employee plus the cost for the stamp, the paper, the printer usage, and the envelope. So it all adds up to maybe $60 a letter, and then the letter is still on the table. It still needs to be going to the post office, and yeah, basically that saves a lot of time too by just using MailWriter. So instead of paying like $60 a letter, we actually brought it down to $129 a letter. And if you send up to 1,000 letters or more, we even give you a discount for 25%.
All right.
On to Axel.
XR?
XR?
Yep. Very interesting presentation. My question is, how many users do you guys have right now?
Right now we're based in the Netherlands. Actually, we've been around for 2 years now in Amsterdam. We have picked up a lot of mainly businesses, because our service focuses on businesses in the Netherlands. Actually, we have like a couple thousand business owners who sign up to use our products, and we increase monthly by a growth of about 20%.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
And finally,
Cool.
Mark.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So actually, on the team side, I would be interested in understanding more of who's behind this business. I heard it's mostly printing. So how many people are involved? Who are they, etc.
We have a partner in Amsterdam, and they're a large printing company. They actually print 2 billion letters a year. And yeah, we partnered up with them, and they have this great automated system with big printers. They're all set up in a secure printing area, so actually nobody even sees your letter until it reaches destination. The paper, the envelopes, it's all printed automatically and inserted into the paper. The stamps are put on there, or we even use like digital stamping. So that way we can secure your letter until it reaches the destination. And I'm just one of the 3 associates for MailRider. My other 2 associates are still in Amsterdam, and I'm basically here to set up a new branch in the United States and finding some funding from investors for that.
All right. Well, I hope you can get your traction through this project. I hope we can help you toward that.
Yeah, sure, it'd be nice.
So
Now,
let's move to feedback.
feedback and scores, and I'm interested to hear what Annie has to say.
I think that I had a hard time discerning from your presentation what kind of a market there would be for these kinds of services. And I've also seen other startups in this space that have tried to do similar things. I think one that comes to mind is called Enthusum, and they failed. And if I were you, it might be a good idea to just sort of explore that and see the reasons. I don't really feel like you answered my question. I think I'm going to have to give you like a 3.7.
3.7.
3.7. Moving on to Eve.
I say major competition is email, and because the time to write the letter is still there, so you're not saving the time of the employee somebody still has to write the letter. You're not providing creative content. So if it's just the mailing part of it, I can sign something, put it in an email, or even drop a digital signature in it, attach it to an email, and it's there. It's there now, without any of the cost of even uploading. It's the same amount of time. So I think that's the competition to overcome more than any physical competitor. So I'm going to give you a 3.5.
3.5. Can we hear from you, Mark?
Okay, on the pitch side, I think it was no information about. I would have liked to hear about the fact that you already have an implementation working in the Netherlands, and that it's useful. I don't think I've heard that in the pitch. There was a lot of questions that got answered after the fact that were not there, so it would be good to cover the basic facts earlier. On the idea, I find it intriguing. I have to admit I'm very amazed that there is the traction you mentioned with 2,000 business owners signed up in the Netherlands. I find it very impressive. So congratulations for that. It's a great achievement. I am curious to see how that would work here. Email has legal value here from what I understand, so you may not need to send letters where there may be some differences in that respect with the Netherlands, for example, but definitely worth a try. I would give it 3.5.
3.5. And on to Akhtar.
Yeah. Given that you've been in business for 2 years and you have traction of X amount of users, X amount of businesses using it, it would be interesting in knowing what your revenue is like. And maybe you already said that in the presentation, but I didn't hear it. So, it seems like you have a team down. It seems like you have some sales down. It's interesting to know if they're actually using it and if they're paying you money continuously. And also, I commend you on presenting in a second language is not easy. So I give you a 4.0.
Thanks.
4.0.
That's fun. I'm really hoping that it's going to save me having to, that I'll be able to use your service or something like it to save me having to write nice notes to my mom when, say, I take the dog for a walk or something like that. So if you could just infiltrate my house and I can email to mom and you can just write it with smiley faces and bring it to her, that'd really help me.
Thank you, Renee. That was fun. Great presentation.
Thanks.
I just want to thank our judges so much. It was a great day. We really enjoyed having you here. Oh, do we have one more? Uno más. Oh boy, it's Liftport.
Liftport, did they make it?
Are we ready? Are we ready for Liftport? I'm ready for Liftport.
I'm always ready for Liftport.
Yeah, I actually went to their website and checked it out. Pretty interesting. Do we see Liftport? The person's name is Lane, it looks like.
Yeah, and he's been real busy. And we had his day around, and I'm really hoping he can make it. Ooh, it looks good, Michael.
Oh, it's Michael. Michael Lane.
It always makes me feel
There we
really
go.
good about myself that I'm on a show
I checked out your website.
that involves space travel.
I'm a Star Trek fan. What are you gonna do? You know,
I
the
get-
girl's a trekker.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna need you, Michael, to do a little
Yes,
bit
I do have
technology-
a costume. Yes, since you asked.
of. We're gonna need you to do a little technology. I don't know if you can handle this. Will you please,
Sure,
Michael?
I'll wear it sometime.
Will you
Okay.
please? She's been in the catnip. Will you please go to the little gear at the top of your page, and get to your camera settings. Change the camera settings so that you're. Thank you, Dickie. So that you're doing avatar. Then click
Seen
OK,
it?
so that you're on your avatar. Then come back
Like the
to
cartoon.
the
better
gear
than the movie.
icon again. Do the same thing and go from avatar to camera. Say goodnight, Dick.
This is fun. It really is cool.
You know, I don't really know if is Michael there. I haven't really heard his voice yet.
I heard him.
You did?
Do you hear us, Michael?
He was here earlier.
Earth to Michael.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Literally.
Captain, we have a communication
For those of
from
you who don't know,
Michael, from
gotta-
Captain Michael.
I got to give him a booster and tell you that he's building a stairway to heaven, ladies and gentlemen. A rope ladder to the stars.
And I've seen such a thing
We don't
before
hear it.
myself, not just on Star Wars, but also on
Michael,
Star
if
Trek.
you're there,
So-
we'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to
He
see
says
you.
he can hear us.
Oh, you can. Okay.
Okay,
Great.
he says he can hear us, but I don't hear him yet, which is fine.
Are you muted?
Which is fine. I'm not capable of muting him, but it's possible that Greg might have muted him. They can hear him. No, they can hear him.
No, we can't hear him, but he can hear us.
Oh,
the
the world.
judges. The world.
I don't hear him. I don't hear him.
Okay, we're going to cycle you out and back in again, Michael. So please be patient. And we're doing technology here that is beyond the comprehension of most humans.
Yeah.
I'm curious, Annie. In the meantime, we were talking about the mail writer. Did I sense that your legal antennae went up when you were? Is an original signature still a lot more valuable than, say, a PDF signature?
It's either going to be an original signature or it's going to be one of those PDF signatures that was generated through one of the services, one of the many fine services online that offer online signature. And people pay for that. My company pays for that. We have an online contract management system. We use EchoSign. Fantastic. I think they were acquired to start Adobe not too long ago. And I just, the only time that I would be printing something out is when I want to actually have the signature on the dotted line, or if there needs to be a check. And I wanted to see him. I wanted to hear him talk about the check aspect, perhaps, because that could be worked into his business model, maybe. But I didn't quite hear that. So I fail to see the utility of the app.
Now, sometimes a letter in politics, a letter gets better attention than an email.
For now.
Oh, you want?
Oh,
Okay,
Michael, we have some instructions for you.
I don't know if he can hear us or not, but I'm going to talk anyway. Michael, will you please exit out of the video application and then exit back in, as it were? In other words, go ahead and quit out and then log back in as though you were a brand new Michael. I think he must be able to hear me.
Yes, he logged right out. Thank you.
He beamed out.
Beamed out.
Tell us about Star Trek, Cindy.
Well, there are morality plays each episode.
What's that got to do with you and your Uhura outfit? Oh, and we've got a paper. Let's go ahead and dig into that.
Yes.
You can read that better than I can.
Well, I already thanked our judges, but hey, they deserve thanking again. They're what this show is about. We run on them.
Right.
No doubt about it.
Now, we want you all to go to...
More than dilithium crystals. And now, let's...
will you please, all of you who are listening,
Mhm.
go to agorastartupidle.com, register and vote there. You get points for watching, you get points for viewing, you get points for visiting websites. You get points for advising these startups on how to better conduct business. If they accept your advice, you get more points. So from there, while you're logged in, just look around and gather you up some points. And those points are redeemable for actual rewards, such as coffee, discounts on Nike shoes, and other brand name products. And vote. Oh, I'm getting it. And vote for the People's Choice Award. We've got a new thing, the People's Choice Award, partly inspired by the fact that we have been telling people that you, the viewers, have influence over their success just as much as the judges do. So get in there and prove us right. Vote for the People's Choice Award. We're going to do a wrap-up show and give you the results of today's yammering and pitches in 10 minutes.
Yep.
Then tell them about the quarterfinals, because that's on the napkin note too.
Well, our quarterfinals are next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. That will be the Sweet 16. The Sweet 16 will be left, and it will be a great day.
This being the savory 32.
This
And Michael, okay, I see your meter wiggling, as they say.
Earth to Michael.
Can anyone hear Michael speaking?
Yes. Coming in slowly.
Does anyone hear him?
I can see, but not hear.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, you can see him?
yeah.
I can see him.
His avatar.
No, she's
I
not
see
talking
his,
about
I see
that.
his video.
Oh, okay. We're getting there.
Okay. So someone can see his video. Okay, Michael, then if you could do the cycle one more time, use the gear, go to camera and audio settings, avatar, okay, and back to the gear, camera and audio settings, and camera, and that should bring you back home, Major Tom. I cannot hear him. I see his meter, I hear him not. Is it? Oh wait, now I hear.
Gentlemen, I'm
squeaks.
gonna have to jump off in a little bit.
Okay.
Okay,
All right, Annie. Thank you so much for your patience.
do what you have to do.
and for being here.
We really appreciate your time. We'll figure out some mathematical way to
Okay.
make up for you.
Okay.
I see Michael's meter, but I can't hear anything.
Yes. I'm getting pretty good at reading meters and actually knowing what people are saying. He's saying, I'm a meter
Pretty good
reader.
there.
Meter reader. Oh yeah, that's good. So this is the first time that in my entire life that I've done anything for 4 hours at a time. I think I'm never going to do that again. All right. Michael, we love you dearly. Will you please call in on the telephone? And guys, you should probably call him or type into the chat room and tell him what the phone number is. Okay. Back out of the software, please, Michael. And when you log back in, it'll give you a phone number. You call that phone number, and that will give you Andrew Prell, who will hold his phone up to a microphone somewhere here in the studio. Okay. Call the number, give the PIN, and you'll be connected into the conference, I guess. And I cannot tell if he heard me, but I saw his meter blip to the affirmative. This is the best job I've had ever in my whole entire life. Can you imagine this? This is like being a fireman or a toothbrush cleaner. Or a robot.
Yay. Okay.
Eve, what's the funniest job you ever had?
I ran blueprints.
Nice.
from those big sheets covered with yellow chemicals, and I had to feed them into a large machine.
Oh, wow.
Do you know Jeff Johannigman?
No.
Oh, okay. He's in Austin, and he's around the games and jobs and things areas all the time. He was Yogi
I may know
Bear.
him.
He was Yogi Bear for a while at one of the theme parks. Aksar, what's the funniest job you've ever had?
Oh man, funniest job I've ever had. It's a pretty hard one actually. I guess being a clown for some kids at like summer camp.
That's great.
Oh man, and I'm afraid to ask Mark because I have a feeling he's got deep secrets about ridiculous jobs. Mark, you ever had jobs?
No funny jobs, but I did walk down tunnels in metro, and that was pretty cool at night
wow.
when all the trains was not running.
Oh.
I hope you had check-in on .me.
Yeah.
Well, I was with a bunch of tough guys who, could help me if there was any trouble. It was a whole crew of electrician guys, and no worry on that side. We did get bullets though, fly by our ears once, but yeah. Otherwise, it was pretty safe.
Wow. I can't hear him yet.
I see
I see Michael.
avatar.
I'm wondering if those were bullets or bullet trains, maybe.
Could have been. Hi, Michael.
No, there were actual bullets of people shooting at each other in Washington, D.C.
Oh.
That is so awesome. I want to be Mark. But I don't hear Michael. Does anyone hear Michael? He's not fully in. Michael, someday you will be fully in, but hopefully not fully in a train tunnel with bullets whizzing past your ears. I don't even know I can't even answer that question myself.
Yeah.
I think this is it. This is the funniest job I've ever had. This is it. I demonstrated ice cream machines for a while. That's not that funny, though.
Annie, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Hi, Michael.
Yes. Awesome. Can you see me?
We
No.
cannot see
Can you see me?
We
You
cannot
don't need to see me. I don't care if you guys get a look at my my T-shirt here. Can you guys can all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Would you like to start your presentation?
You know what? In deference to Annie, because I know she's in a hurry, I would be happy to start. You guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna. Okay. Sorry. Gotta shift gears here. Okay. Thank you. In reaction to the judges' feedback last time, I've actually changed my pitch a little bit with an emphasis more on the idea factory and down-to-earth business of this project. It starts with a nod to our fans. We have about 4.2 million references to our project in Google. We've been working on the space elevator for over a decade now. It started out as a 100-year-old project. My role in it started about 11 years ago as part of NASA's Institute for Advanced Concepts research team. We have several hundred PhDs and other expert advisors backing this project, and about 60 different universities working on different aspects of it. So it's pretty big, and it's been around for a while. What we're trying to do now is develop a system that will get us to the moon, and we can talk about that more in detail if you guys ask questions about it. Imagine you have a ball and a string, spinning it over your head. The string in the middle stays straight, right? Okay, so now expand that to an Earth-sized system. The Earth provides rotation. You have a counterweight, a satellite, deep out in space with a very long, very strong string. Once you've built that, the string stays straight, and you can use that system to climb back and forth into space using it as a ladder instead of rockets to get back and forth. It's cheaper, it's safer, it's about mass transit, mass cargo out into the solar system. Within that, as the big long-term picture, and the lunar system's about 8 years away,
in that, we've focused on several core technologies that are going to be developed along the way. Carbon nanotubes are the strongest materials in the world. We can use them for anywhere there is a demand for high strength and lightweight materials. We have access to publishing and art, but most importantly are our tethered towers, our communications, observation, and surveillance systems. We think that's a multi-billion-dollar market that will unfold in the next 5 to 8 years.
All right, we have to cut you off there, just to keep it fair. I don't know, is Annie still on board with us? Annie, are you still here?
She had to go to a meeting.
All right.
Okay.
So go ahead, Eve.
I am not sure I got what your company is. I heard a bunch of ideas, but I'm sure I haven't heard a business or revenue model or anything really about customers. Is it just a think tank, or are you a company that produce something or do something, or
right?
Are you going to build a ladder to the moon?
We are going to build a ladder on the moon, but really the down-to-earth side of it is that as these technologies develop, we'll be licensing these technologies out to other industries, especially the auto, aircraft, and boating industry for lightweight materials, the telecommunications industry for our tethered towers concepts. And really what happens is we license those technologies so that we can focus on our main task, which is the elevator in space. So we can't scale to the size of, for example, General Electric in the amount of time that we've got. So it makes much more sense as we develop these patents that we push them out into the world to other people to develop.
All right. Aksar.
So I've heard of this concept before, and I mean, Scientific American has published something online. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dive into technical questions. So 10 years ago, there was just simply no materials that could be used to construct what you're building. How has that changed?
For the Earth system, that still is true. Carbon nanotubes have expanded quite a bit. When we were working on them 5 years ago, 7, 8 years ago, we were one of about 500 labs in the country that could do that. There's probably about 5,000 labs now. Even community colleges can do it. The problem is that mass production for these super materials has still really not been achieved. So rather than focus on our Earth system, we've shifted gears to the lunar system, which can be done with current materials such as Kevlar, Spectra, Dyneema, Xylon. So we're really focusing on commercial off-the-shelf technologies for our system right now. We can't do the Earth system, but we can do the moon system now.
Okay. I have questions about that, but I'll hold it. Mark.
Okay, so you mentioned you're shifting to the more down-to-earth side of business. I heard the pitch once, so I have an assumption of what it is, which is the licensing part. Producing ideas is one thing. Turning ideas into something that can be used and licensed by other businesses is a whole complete different business. Can you tell us how your team is split between one and the other, and how you're organized more specifically on the IP licensing side of things?
Sure. As I said last week, we're in restart mode, so we've only been at, with this revised version for the last couple months. We have about 100-person board of advisors that are really tackling the more esoteric research aspects, and our 15-person team is really trying to push out the actual hardware. For example, a robotics kit and a weather monitoring kit with high altitude balloons is one of our first products that we can get out the door. Same thing with the carbon nanotube alloys. We can't build an alloy, we can't build a system that can build an elevator from the Earth, but we can actually make a metallic alloy that is useful for silver, strengthening silver. We can do that right now. So those are the areas that we're really focused on today.
Wonderful. Well, let's go ahead and move into the feedback area. Oh, that's for me.
Go ahead, Eve.
I still want to hear a business model. I want to hear
Oh, well,
this is what we're going to sell. No. I'm just saying this feedback. In the pitch, I want to hear how you're going to make money, how much you're going to make. If you're looking for investment, how much return there is to the investors. I want to hear much more concrete about the business. I mean, if you're just a clearinghouse to license and clear out patents, that's fine. I just want to hear, okay, so how much money is that going to make? I want some more detail. But I hope you do build that elevator to the moon, because I am terrified of taking off on a rocket ship. So I'm going to give you a 4.
4. And go ahead, Axar.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really crazy venture. A lot riskier than everything else we've heard so far. It's also, I was taking on a much bigger goal. You know, it's pretty grandiose. I'd love to be more excited about what you're doing. You know, I would love a pitch that's more kind of change the world, you know, innovate, sort of like the new space age program that can change the way that we think about space, because it becomes more and more available, it becomes cheaper to use. I'll give you a 4.
A 4. And on to Mark.
So I think the other judges have said this already, but the pitch needs to be definitely worked on. I mean, we hear it's very strong on the 100-year vision and on the background of the team, etc. But it's lacking completely on the business side of things, of how you make money on the short term. So definitely that needs to be worked on. Beyond this, the business itself, I love the vision. I love the 100-year thing. I think it's definitely completely out of the ordinary. I can see where licensing IP can produce a lot of value. So I'm sure there's a good business there, but it seems it needs to, same thing, need to be thought over a little more, or at least presented differently. But I would still give it a 4.5.
4.5.
Nice.
Okay, we have our scores in. Thank you so much, Michael. You did a great job. Beautiful presentation. And we are ready to move on to our wrap-up show results in 10 minutes. So we'll see you all then. Thank you so much to our judges. We really enjoyed having you. Thank you, Michael, our final contestant of the day. We will see you next Tuesday at 1 o'clock for our quarterfinals and the Sweet 16.
Right.
Can I?
All right.
So I'm not trying to change the judges or anything. I just want to actually answer something.
I think we're going to go off the air, and you go ahead and talk to the judges in the chat room while we set up the rest of the room.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thanks, Michael.
Okay.
And once you build that elevator to the moon, I think we're all going to want to buy that elevator from the moon. That'll be an easy sell.
Right on.